Hello and welcome to the English Boost Zone. I'm thrilled you're here today. Whether you're driving to work, doing chores, exercising, or just relaxing, you're about to learn something incredibly valuable. Today we're talking about mistakes, but not just any mistakes. The most common English mistakes that learners make, and more importantly, how to fix them permanently. This episode is going to save you from years of confusion, from embarrassing errors, and from sounding like a textbook instead of a real person. So get comfortable. Maybe grab something to take notes if you can, and let's dive into this together. Before we begin, if you're enjoying this podcast, please hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment telling me which mistakes you struggle with most, and share this episode with your friends who are learning English. Your support helps me create more free content. Okay, let's get started. Let me start with something important. Making mistakes is completely normal. In fact, it's necessary. Every fluent English speaker was once a learner who made countless mistakes. So if you're making mistakes right now, congratulations, you're learning. But here's the thing, there are two types of mistakes. Random mistakes that happen because you're still learning. These are fine, they'll naturally decrease as you practice. And systematic mistakes, mistakes you make over and over again. Mistakes that have become habits, these are the dangerous ones. Because once a mistake becomes a habit, it's hard to break. Your brain automates it, and you keep making the same error without even realizing it. Today, I'm going to help you identify these systematic mistakes. I'm going to show you exactly why they happen, and I'm going to give you specific strategies to fix them. By the end of this episode, you'll know what to watch out for, what to correct, and how to sound more natural and accurate. Are you ready? Let's begin with the most common category of mistakes. Let's start with grammar. Now, I know grammar can be boring, but understanding these 5 mistakes will dramatically improve your English. These are the mistakes I hear most often from students at all levels. Even advanced learners make some of these, so listen carefully. Mistake number 1, present perfect versus simple past. This is probably the most common grammar mistake. Learners constantly confuse these two tenses. Let me explain the difference clearly. Simple past is for completed actions at a specific time in the past. For example, I went to Paris in 2020. I ate breakfast at 8 a.m. She called me yesterday. Notice there's always a specific time. In 2020, at 8 a.m. yesterday. Present perfect is for actions that happened at an unspecified time, or actions that started in the past and continue to now. For example, I have been to Paris. We don't say when, just sometime in my life. I have eaten breakfast. Again, no specific time, just at some point today. She has called me 3 times, multiple times, but we don't say exactly when. Here's where learners make mistakes. They say, I have been to Paris in 2020. Wrong. If you mention the specific time, use simple past. I went to Paris in 2020. Or they say, I went to Paris before. Wrong. Before is unspecific, so use present perfect. I have been to Paris before. How do you fix this? Remember this simple rule. Specific time equals simple past. No specific time or continuing action equals present perfect. Practice with these time markers. Simple past time markers, yesterday, last week, in 2020 when I was young at 3 p.m. Present perfect time markers, already, yet, just, ever, never, so far, recently. Create sentences with each, say them out loud. I watched a movie yesterday, simple past. I have already watched that movie, present perfect. Do this until it becomes automatic. Your brain will learn the pattern. Mistake number 2, articles a and the. Articles are a nightmare for many learners, especially if your native language doesn't have them. Let me break this down simply. A or n means one, anyone, not specific. I want to buy a car, any car, I don't have a specific one in mind. N is used before vowel sounds. An apple, an hour, an honest person. Notice it's about the sound, not just the letter. Hour starts with a vowel sound even though it starts with H. The means specific, a particular one we're talking about. I want to buy the car we saw yesterday. That specific car. Here are the most common article mistakes. Mistake, I go to school by the bus. Correction, I go to school by bus. When talking about transportation in general, no article. Mistake, the life is beautiful. Correction, life is beautiful. Abstract concepts, don't use the when speaking generally. Mistake, I am teacher. Correction, I am a teacher. Jobs need an article. Mistake, I went to cinema. Correction, I went to the cinema. Specific places need the. How do you fix article mistakes? First, learn the patterns. General plural nouns, no article. I like dogs, not I like the dogs. Jobs and professions need a or an. She is a doctor, he is an engineer. Abstract nouns use generally, no article. Love is powerful, knowledge is important. Specific things need the book on the table, the dog next door. Second, pay attention when you read and listen. Notice when native speakers use articles, when they don't. Your brain will start absorbing the patterns. Third, when you're not sure, it's often better to leave out the article than to use the wrong one. Many learners overuse they put it everywhere. When in doubt with general statements, try no article first. Mistake number 3, subject-verb agreement. This mistake is simple but incredibly common. The subject and verb must agree in number. Singular subject needs singular verb. Plural subject needs plural verb. Sounds easy, right? But listen to these common mistakes. Mistake, she go to school every day. Correction, she goes to school every day. Third person singular needs an S. Mistake, my friends goes to the gym. Correction, my friends go to the gym. Plural subject, no S on the verb. Mistake, there is many people here. Correction, there are many people here. People is plural, so are not is. Why do learners make this mistake? Usually because they're thinking about meaning, not grammar. They know what they want to say, but they forget to match subject and verb. How do you fix this? First, memorize third person singular. He, she, it always need S on the verb in present simple. He walks, she talks, it works. Always. Second, identify the real subject. Sometimes the subject is hidden. The box of chocolates is on the table. The subject is box, not chocolates, so singular verb. The keys to the car are in my pocket. The subject is keys, plural, so are. Third, practice with correction exercises. Take sentences you wrote or said. Check if subject and verb agree. Correct yourself out loud. Mistake number 4, prepositions. Prepositions are chaotic in English. There's often no logical rule. You just have to learn them, but there are some common mistakes I can help you avoid. Mistake, I am good in English. Correction, I am good at English. We say good at something. Mistake, I arrived to the station. Correction, I arrived at the station. Arrive at a place, arrive in a city. Mistake, I am agree with you. Correction, I agree with you. Agree is a verb, no am needed. Mistake, I am married with John. Correction, I am married to John. Married to someone. Mistake, I will call you in Monday. Correction, I will call you on Monday. On for days, in for months and years. Prepositions are difficult because every language uses them differently. What makes sense in your language doesn't translate to English. How do you fix preposition mistakes? First, learn common verb preposition combinations. Listen to, wait for, depend on, look at, think about. Learn them as chunks, not separate words. Second, learn time prepositions. On for days and dates. On Monday, on January 5th. In for months, years, and longer periods. In January in 2024 in the morning. At for specific times. At 3 p.m. at noon at night. Third, when you make a preposition mistake and someone corrects you, write it down. Keep a preposition error log. Review it regularly. Mistake number 5, modal verbs. Modal verbs are tricky. Can, could, should, would, must, might. Learners often use them incorrectly. Let me show you the most common mistakes. Mistake, I can to swim. Correction, I can swim. Modals are followed by base verb. No to. Mistake, he can speak French. Correction, he can speak French. Modals don't change form. No S for third person. Mistake, I must to go now. Correction, I must go now. Again, no to after modals. Mistake, you should to study more. Correction, you should study more. Same rule, no to. How do you fix modal mistakes? First, memorize this rule. Modals are always followed directly by the base verb. No to, no ing, no changes. I can go, she should stay, they might come. Second, learn what each modal means. Can means ability or possibility. I can swim, can you help me? Should means advice or recommendation. You should rest, we should leave now. Must means necessity or strong obligation. I must finish this, you must see a doctor. Would is for hypothetical situations or polite requests. I would go if I could. Would you like some tea? Third, practice with real situations. Create sentences about your life using each modal. Say them out loud. Those are the big 5 grammar mistakes. If you fix these, your English will immediately sound better, but grammar is just one category. Let's move to pronunciation. Pronunciation mistakes, sounds that change meaning. Pronunciation mistakes are interesting because sometimes they don't affect meaning much, but sometimes one wrong sound completely changes what you're saying. Let me show you the most problematic sounds. Mistake number 6, th sounds. The TH sound doesn't exist in many languages, so learners replace it with T, D, S, or Z. This creates problems. Listen to these examples. Mistake, I think so. Correction, I think so. Mistake, 3 people. Correction, 3 people. Mistake, my mother and correction, my mother and father. The TH sound is special. Your tongue goes between your teeth, not behind them, not touching your teeth. Between them, there are 2 TH sounds. Voiceless TH as in think 3 bath. Your vocal cords don't vibrate. Voiced TH as in this, that, mother. Your vocal cords vibrate. How do you fix TH sounds? First, practice the tongue position. Put your tongue between your teeth. Blow air out gently. For voiceless TH, just air. For voiced TH, add voice. Second, practice minimal pair. These are words that differ only in one sound. Think versus sing. 3 versus tree. Mother versus mutter. Say them back to back. Feel the difference. Third, don't worry about perfection. Even if your TH isn't perfect, as long as you're trying, most people will understand. But it's worth working on because it makes a big difference in clarity. Mistake number 7, L versus R. This is a huge problem for speakers of many Asian languages. L and R sound the same to them, so they use them interchangeably. But in English, they're completely different sounds. Listen to these confusions. I want rice becomes I want lice. Lice are bugs in your hair, not what you want to eat. Let's pray becomes let's play. Totally different meanings. I collect stamps becomes I correct stamps. Doesn't make sense. How are L and R different? L is made with your tongue touching the roof of your mouth behind your teeth. R is made with your tongue pulled back, not touching anything. How do you fix this? First, practice the positions separately. For L, touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Say la la la. For R, pull your tongue back, don't touch anything. Say ra ra ra. Second, practice minimal pairs. Light versus right. Long versus wrong. Alive versus arrive. Record yourself. Compare to native speakers. Third, slow down when speaking. When you rush, you default to old habits. Slow speech gives you time to make the correct sound. Mistake number 8, VV's W. Another common confusion. Some learners pronounce V as W or vice versa. Very good becomes good. We went becomes vent. These sounds are different. V is made with your top teeth touching your bottom lip. Air flows out making a buzzing sound. W is made with your lips rounded, no teeth involved. How do you fix this? First, exaggerate the movements. For V, bite your bottom lip with your top teeth. Feel the vibration. For W, round your lips like you're going to kiss someone. Second, practice words. V words, very, visit, video, voice, view. W words, we want, will, water, window. Say them clearly. Feel the different mouth positions. Third, practice in sentences. We visited very important places. William wants to watch videos. Mistake number 9, vowel sounds. English has many vowel sounds, more than most languages. This causes massive confusion. Let me show you the most problematic ones. Ship versus sheep. Short I versus long E, I have a ship, is very different from I have a sheep. Beach versus bitch. Long E versus short I, be very careful with this one. Wrong pronunciation is offensive. Full versus fool. Short U versus long U, the glass is full versus you're a fool. The problem is that learners often don't hear the difference. To them, these vowels sound the same. How do you fix vowel problems? First, learn that English vowels come in pairs, long and short, bit and beat, cat and cart, cut and cart. Second, use YouTube videos specifically about vowel sounds. There are hundreds of videos showing mouth positions for each sound. Watch them, imitate them. Third, don't try to fix everything at once. Choose one vowel pair that causes you problems. Work on it for a week, then move to the next one. Gradually, your vowel pronunciation will improve. Mistake number 10, word stress. This is often overlooked but incredibly important. English is a stress-timed language. This means some syllables are stressed, some are not. Wrong stress can make you incomprehensible. Listen to these. D is a dry place. SSERT is sweet food after dinner. R is a noun like a music record. Record is a verb to record something. Is a gift. Present is to show something. See how stress changes meaning. How do you fix word stress? First, when you learn a new word, learn its stress pattern. Don't just learn the spelling and meaning. Learn which syllable is stressed. Most dictionaries show this. Second, practice with compound noun. Usually the first word is stressed. Third, listen to native speakers and copy their stress pattern. This is where shadowing practice is incredibly valuable. You're not just copying words, you're copying rhythm and stress. Now let's move from pronunciation to vocabulary mistakes. Vocabulary mistakes can be embarrassing, sometimes even funny. Let me show you the most common ones and how to avoid them. Mistake number 11, false friends. False friends are words that look similar to words in your language but mean something different. These cause hilarious mistakes. For Spanish speakers, in Spanish means pregnant. Embarrassed in English means feeling ashamed. Imagine saying I'm very embarrassed when you mean pregnant. For French speakers, in French means currently. Actually in English means in fact or really. Confusion here creates strange sentences. For German speakers, gift in German means poison. Gift in English means present, big difference. How do you avoid false friend mistakes? First, be suspicious of words that look like words in your language. Double check them. Second, when you make a false friend mistake and someone corrects you, write it down. These are dangerous because they feel familiar. Third, learn the correct English word and use it in multiple sentences. Replace the false pattern with the correct one. Mistake number 12, confusing similar words. English has many words that look or sound similar but mean different things. Accept versus accept. Accept means to receive. I accept your apology. Accept means excluding. Everyone came except John. Affect versus affect. Affect is usually a verb meaning to influence. The weather affects my mood. Affect is usually a noun meaning result. The effect was immediate. Then versus then relates to time. First this, then that, then is for comparisons. Taller than me. Your versus your shows possession, your book, your is a contraction of you are, you're smart, its versus its shows possession, the dog wagged its tail, its is a contraction of it is, it's raining. How do you fix these? First, learn them in pairs, study them side by side, create example sentences for each. Second, use mnemonic devices, memory tricks. For example, your has an apostrophe because something is missing. The from are. Your has no apostrophe because nothing is missing. Third, proofread your writing. These mistakes usually happen in writing more than speaking. When you write, check for these confusing pairs. Mistake number 13, literal translations. This is a huge category. Learners translate phrases directly from their language to English, but languages don't work that way. Here are common examples. In many languages you say I have hunger, but in English it's I am hungry, not I have hunger. In some languages you say I have cold. In English it's I am cold. In some languages age is something you have, but in English you are an age. I am 25 years old, not I have 25 years. In some languages you say make a photo. In English you take a photo. In some languages you say a lie. In English, you tell a lie. How do you avoid literal translation mistakes? First, stop translating in your head. This is the root cause. Learn to think in English. Second, learn phrases as chunks. Don't learn individual words and try to combine them. Learn take a photo as one unit. Tell a lie as one unit. Third, read and listen extensively. The more English you consume, the more these natural phrases will stick. You'll start using them automatically. Mistake number 14, overusing very. Learners love the word very. Very good, very bad, very tired, very hungry, but native speakers use more specific words. Instead of very tired, say exhausted. Instead of very good, say excellent or fantastic. Instead of very bad, say terrible or awful. Instead of very hungry, say starving. Instead of very cold, say freezing. See how much stronger these are. How do you fix this? First, make a list of common very plus adjective combinations you use. Then find stronger single-word alternatives. Second, when you catch yourself about to say very, pause, think of a stronger word. It might feel awkward at first, but soon it becomes natural. Third, read good writing. Notice how writers use precise, strong words instead of very. Now let's talk about sentence structure mistakes. English has a specific word order and specific patterns. Breaking these patterns creates confusion. Mistake number 15, wrong word order. English follows subject-verb-object order in most sentences. I eat apples. Subject first, then verb, then object, but learners from languages with different word orders make mistakes. Mistake, apples eat I, wrong order for English. Mistake, like you coffee, missing helping verb, should be do you like coffee? Mistake, I to school go. Infinitive in wrong place should be I go to school. How do you fix word order mistakes? First, memorize the basic pattern. Subject, verb, object. I love pizza, she reads books, they play soccer. This is your foundation. Second, learn question patterns. In questions, we usually add a helping verb before the subject. Do you like it? Can she come? Will they arrive? Third, learn where adverbs go. Adverbs of frequency go before the main verb but after be. I always eat breakfast. She is usually late. Time expressions usually go at the end. I will see you tomorrow. We met last week. Mistake number 16, run-on sentences. Learners often create very long sentences, connecting multiple ideas with "and." In speech, this makes you hard to follow. In writing, it's grammatically incorrect. Example, I woke up and I brushed my teeth and I ate breakfast and I went to work and I had a meeting and I ate lunch and I came home. This is exhausting. How do you fix this? First, learn to use periods. Break long thoughts into shorter sentences. I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I ate breakfast, then I went to work. Second, learn to use transition words. First, then, after that, later, finally. These connect ideas without "and." First, I woke up, then I brushed my teeth, after that I ate breakfast, finally I went to work. Third, in speech, learn to pause. Native speakers pause between ideas. They don't connect everything with "and." Practice speaking with natural pauses. Mistake number 17, double negatives. In some languages, double negatives are correct. In English, they're not. They either create the opposite meaning or sound uneducated. Mistake, I don't have nothing. This technically means you have something. Correction, I don't have anything or I have nothing. One negative, not two. Mistake, I didn't see nobody. Correction, I didn't see anybody or I saw nobody. How do you fix this? Remember this rule. In standard English, one negative per sentence. If your verb is negative, the rest of the sentence is positive. I don't have anything. If your verb is positive, you can have one negative elsewhere. I have nothing. Now let's talk about usage mistakes. These are about using English appropriately in context. Grammar can be correct, but usage can be wrong. Let me explain. Mistake number 18, formality level. English changes based on context. Formal vs informal, but learners often use one style everywhere. Example, saying, "Hey, what's up?" to your boss in a formal meeting. Too informal should be, "Good morning, how are you?" Example, saying, "I request that you provide me with information to a friend." Too formal should be, "Can you tell me about it?" How do you fix this? First, learn the register. Learn which expressions are formal, which are casual. Formal greetings. Good morning, how do you do? Casual greetings. Hey, what's up? Second, match your language to the situation. Job interview, formal email. Business meeting, use formal English. Friends, family, casual texts, use informal English. Third, when unsure, slightly formal is safer than too casual. You can always relax your language. Going from casual to formal is awkward. Mistake number 19, being too direct. In some cultures, directness is valued, but in English-speaking cultures, especially in professional contexts, too much directness is rude. Example, "Give me that report." Sounds like a command. Better, "Could you please give me that report?" Example, "Your idea is bad." Too harsh. Better, "I see your point, but I have some concerns about that approach." Example, "I want you to finish this today." Demanding. Better, "Would you be able to finish this today?" How do you fix this? First, learn softening phrases. Could you? Would you mind? I was wondering if. These make requests polite. Second, learn to give feedback gently. Instead of "This is wrong," say "This might need some adjustment." Instead of "I don't like it," say "I'm not sure this is the best approach." Third, observe how native speakers make requests and give feedback. Notice the indirect language, the politeness, copy these patterns. Mistake number 20, idioms used incorrectly. Learners learn idioms and get excited to use them, but often use them in wrong contexts. Example, someone says they got a new job, you say "break a leg," wrong context. Break a leg is for performances, not new jobs, should say "congratulations." Example, someone's grandmother died, you say "don't cry over spilled milk." Inappropriate, that idiom is for minor mishaps, not serious loss. How do you avoid this? First, when you learn an idiom, learn the context too, not just the meaning, but when it's used. Second, don't force idioms into conversation. If you're not sure, use simple, clear English instead. Better to be clear than to misuse an idiom. Third, pay attention to how native speakers use idioms. In what situations, with what tone. This context is as important as the meaning. Now you know the 20 most common mistakes, but knowing isn't enough. You need a system to fix them. Here's your action plan. Step 1, identify your specific mistakes. You can't fix what you don't know. Record yourself speaking, write something in English, then review it. What mistakes do you make repeatedly? Make a list. Step 2, prioritize. Don't try to fix everything at once. Choose the 3 mistakes that affect your communication most. Start with those. Step 3, create correction exercises. For each mistake, create 10 correct sentences. Say them out loud daily. Write them. Your brain needs repetition to form new patterns. Step 4, get feedback. Ask a teacher, a native speaker friend, or use online correction services. You need someone to tell you if you're still making the mistake. Step 5, track your progress. Keep a mistake journal. Every time you catch yourself making the mistake, write it down with the correction. Review this journal weekly. Step 6, replace the bad habit. When you catch yourself making the mistake in real time, stop, correct yourself out loud. This trains your brain to self-correct. Step 7, be patient. Mistakes that have become habits take time to fix. You might need months of conscious effort. That's normal. Don't give up. Remember, every native speaker started as a learner. Every fluent speaker made these mistakes too. The difference is they corrected them. And you can too, my dear listeners. We've reached the end of this episode, and you now have powerful knowledge. You know the 20 most common English mistakes. You know why they happen. You know how to fix them. And you have an action plan, but knowledge without action is useless. So here's what I want you to do. Right after this podcast ends, identify one mistake from today's list that you make often. Just one, write it down. Then create 5 correct sentences using the right form. Say them out loud. That's your starting point. Tomorrow, practice those sentences again. The next day, add 5 more. In a week, move to the next mistake. One mistake at a time, 1 week at a time. This is how you build perfect habits. This is how you transform your English from mistake-filled to accurate and natural. Remember, making mistakes is not the problem. The problem is making the same mistake forever without correcting it. Now you have the tools to stop that cycle. You can identify your mistakes, you can fix them, and you can speak confidently knowing you're on the right path. Before we finish, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss future episodes. Leave a comment telling me which of these 20 mistakes you struggle with most. I read every comment. And share this episode with someone who's learning English. They might be making these mistakes without knowing. Help them out. Next week, I'll release another episode with more practical English lessons. So come back. Until then, remember this. Mistakes are not the enemy. Ignoring mistakes is the enemy. Face your mistakes, fix them, and watch your English transform. This is the English Mastery Podcast. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Keep learning, keep improving, and most importantly, keep speaking. Even if you make mistakes, you've got this.